Good morning, Brian, and what a glorious spring day it is. Good morning, everybody who's here live, everybody who's listening to the podcast, whether you're listening to it in April 2020 while we're all kind of on lockdown, or whether you're listening to this years from now. I want to welcome you to the call. Super jacked up. Actually, that's a lie. You know what, guys, as you know, in the industry, we just tend to, we just jam ourselves up, not jam. We jack ourselves up. We get ourselves energized so that we can come out and serve. But I'm going to be truthful. I've had a couple of rough weeks. I've been, feeling under the weather. Thank God. Not the Corona thing, but under the weather. I've had a couple of rough weeks, and then of course you take the lockdown, guys. By the way, I'm an optimist. Optimistic realist. I always just talk the truth. I can't help it. It's just who I am. It's been kind of crappy, not being able to come and go. And the irony is I normally work from home. I normally, especially in the winter, I don't go out a lot. I don't do a lot, except for when I'm traveling. I tend to stay home. I go out once a week to get some groceries. But now this idea that I can't come and go is making me nuts. I'm used to being on a plane, getting on that plane, sitting up front and just, having them give me my little, bubbling water, sparkling water, and jetting around the world. So it's been a little bit of a crummy couple of weeks, but here's what's awesome. The industry that we are in, whether you realize it or not, is actually booming right now. It's booming. It always does whenever there's a downturn in something. And of course, in my lifetime, I've never seen anything like this. I'm sure none of you have either. And it's booming. And if there were ever a time to go to work, it's now. And that's why we've been providing so many different services. And we just wrapped up a challenge over the last weekend. We have another one coming up. We have so much going on. And tonight is the third Thursday of the month, and I'm doing my mastermind. And if there was ever a time to get involved, and again, I don't know whether you're hearing this live or not, but it's always the third Thursday of the month. And if there was ever a time to get involved in the Deep Abyss Mastermind, it's now. One, because you need some mind support going through this. Gosh knows I did. I've been kind of fussy and truthful because I haven't felt well. And when you don't feel good and there's this disease running around, this virus running around, it plays with your mind. So you have to go back to the fundamentals of this governing philosophy and these ideas that keep you going. But also, right now, there's a window of opportunity. And the window is to, and if you happen to be listening to this live or somewhere safe, not driving, grab a pen and write down, I can develop influence. Okay? I can develop influence. Before we started the actual podcast, Brian was introducing me and he was mentioning some of my credentials, and I'm always so grateful when he does, and I appreciate him. I have been doing this for 20 years. But just like academics, in academics, you can get a bachelor's here in the States, you can get a Bachelor of Arts, or you can get a Bachelor of Science, okay? You can get, and in some arenas, you can get like both. It depends on which side you're on. For example, psychology. Psychology, there's like this theory and concept and art of it, and then there's also the science of it, which is statistics, stats. I did that class, okay? And in all different arenas, there's the science and there's the art. Okay, there's the science of music. Why do the notes line up? Why are certain notes in the way they line up and the timing appealing to people? There are people in the background that are music producers that understand all of that. And then there are the artists that just somehow intuitively know certain things, and then they practice their craft and their art. Marketing is no different, in my opinion. There's the art of marketing, and then there's the science of marketing. And I 100% am a marketing artist, okay? And Brian mentioned, I've been the top earner here for some time in our affiliate program. We do have, obviously products and services, and we do have a separate affiliate program. And I've been a top affiliate with many different things and involved in many different things, but I have a website that I barely even maintain. And I don't build all the funnels all the time, although I know how to, and I do. And I don't do some of the things that people think are going to make them successful. Okay, we all think, if only I had blank, I would be successful. If only I had this, if only that. And we think that those are the keys. And let me tell you, down the line, I have a lot of friends that are really into analytics, I have one friend that I met, on a bar stool 100 years ago at an event. He's gone on to be one of the most respected conversion specialists not in this country, in the world. Deals with huge clients. He's absolutely amazing. He's very mathematical. He is a scientist. Okay, I am an artist. But no matter which side, so I'm trying to tell you, there's hope on either side. And this whole idea that if only I could, if only I had, if only I were like Brian, or if only I were like Diane, if only I were like Erin, or if only I were like Stacey, if only, that thought process is going to keep you back. Because what we need to be doing now is developing our influence. And what I want you to really assimilate today, and I hope you do come to the Deep Abyss, thedeepabyss.com, and I hope you do listen to some of those recordings, and I hope you do join me live, because you have to get down this concept of attraction, which is there are people out there just like you, or that resonate with you. Maybe they're actually the opposite of you, but they resonate with you, that the minute you open your mouth, the minute you create a post, the minute you do a video, the minute you reach out to them, the minute you create some content, whatever it is you're doing for your marketing, wherever you are in your marketing journey, they will recognize you, and only you, as their kindred spirit, as their person that could be the key. See, because every person is just a key. Everybody we meet is just a key, right? Before I came here, I was pretty successful, but I had never created a product before. And Brian and the guys gave me an opportunity to create a product hand in hand with them. And I stepped up to the plate and I did it. And I had taught many courses, but I had never created a product. And I stretched and I grew right into the next plane of my career. They were a key. They opened another door. Every person you meet is a key. So the people are out there, they're wandering around looking for answers, and you are the key for some of those people. I want you to hear that. You are the key. And notice I'm saying some. You are a walking reward right now for certain people. And there are other people that are not for you. They are not for you. And if you can accept that today, in this moment, and I'm going to really jar you, 90%, maybe more, of the people that are out there wandering around are not for you. How am I supposed to sell anything if all these people are not for me? What I want you to understand is that huge abundance for you sits in that small percentage that is exactly perfect for you. And your business will turn into joy when you make the decision to lift your voice so that you can locate them. And lifting your voice could be messaging people. It could be doing Facebook Lives. It could be running your own challenge. It could be having a YouTube channel. It could be writing articles. It could be blogging. It could be all of these different things. Some of them are faster. Some of them are slower. Some of them require directly communicating. Some of them require spending a little more time crafting something. They're all different. But the key and the end game to all of it, and whether you're doing the science side and you're running ads and then determining which one converts, or whether you're sitting there with your smiley face on a live every day, the key is to develop influence with the people that are the fit for you. And that starts with Here's the hard part. Here's the part that you're not going to want to hear. Here's the part that you don't want to do. And it's not building websites and running autoresponders and all that stuff. I didn't want to do it, but I learned it. You know why? Because it makes me money. Guys, if you don't want to use an autoresponder, you're goofy because it lets you talk to more people at once. If you don't want to do a Facebook Live, it lets you talk to more people at once. Get your sound out more. Get your voice to more people. Work yourself up. But here's the part. And here's the part that's hard. Running an autoresponder, doing a Facebook Live, or doing some tech or whatever it is, or building a hub page, that's not the hard part. The hard part is developing influence over yourself. Because until you have influence over yourself and you can command yourself, weeks will go by, months will go by, years will go by. Maybe you'll come and go out of this camp, the camp that's raised up the biggest names in the space. And maybe you'll sit and tell yourself the story that it's not a good thing. When in the depth of your heart, you know that everything you need is sitting here. For those of you that might be listening that are not members, get back with the person that put you in front of this. It's all here. The question is, can you influence yourself so that you might influence others? For me, my art is running my mouth and running my fingers. I'm a writer. I never knew I was. I'm a copywriter. I'm very good at it. I never knew I was. I'm a speaker. I knew I was a teacher. I never knew I could be a compelling and influential speaker. For others, they create different types of setups online. I have so many people that have come through working with me here that have realized this is my talent. Maybe they started in network marketing and realized they belong in e-commerce. Maybe they started in this and they realized they belong in that. And that's okay. But all of the discovery and all of the learning and everything you want sits inside of learning to influence yourself and being around the kind of people that are also influencing themselves so that you can be productive, so you can locate the people that you are a key for. And when you become a key for someone, they open their wallet and hand you money for the service that you have provided. Influence has always been my quest over the technology, because influence means you have access to people that have knowledge that you need. Influence means that you can, I jokingly said to someone the other day that I wasn't joking. I saw a project that I thought I might work on, and I said, well, that's an easy 50 grand. And I'm not exaggerating or making income claims or stuff, but I just looked at it and I went, that right there is 50 grand. And he said to me, no way. Like, how could you say that? Because I can tell, because I can gauge my influence, I can gauge the offer, I can gauge the sequence from my experience, which you can gain by hanging out with all of us. And I look at it and I go, there you go. There's a lump. Don't you want to get to that place? And by the way, guys, it started in parking lots knowing that I could go out today and make $300. It started looking at what was possible. I had no leverage then. I had no influence then. It was just my grit and my work. When you gain influence, and your other quest is leverage, which we'll talk about another day. When you gain influence and you gain leverage and you build communication skills, the world is your oyster. You have so many options. You have so many choices. And right now is the time to build influence, because there's never been a time in the history of the world. That's a pretty big statement to make. Okay, I'll always say, there's never been a time like this, or this is that. And those are old phrases from the industry. But when I say this to you today, I am serious. There's never been a time in the history of the world that people are seeking help like today. Never. And I pray in my lifetime, some of you guys are younger than me, most of you are, I pray in my lifetime that we won't ever see a period like this again. I don't know. And this period may be prolonged. It certainly will be drawn out in one way or another. The question is it your time to develop that influence? Who can you serve? Who can you help? There are people out there wandering around right now that don't know anything. And if you think you don't know anything, you know more than them. You can step up. You can invite them to a challenge for $1. For $1. You can step up. You can invite them to a test drive for $10. You can step up and you can invite them to get an attraction marketing product for $1. There's so many options to help someone right now. And yet some will sit and say, I didn't know what to do. Some will not speak their words and build that influence. Some will say that nobody has any money now. Everybody has $1. Heck, they got it sitting in change in their couch cushions. Legit. Influence and the study of influence should go hand in hand with your study of marketing, your study of communication, and your study of leverage. And whether you are a marketing artist, like me, who likes to use words, or whether you're a marketing scientist who likes to use math, it all comes down to, can you influence a person to walk with you? I know that you can. And I know that if you came to understand that for all the people that aren't looking for you, there's people that are desperately looking for you, and they're sitting there right now. And when you find them, converting them will be the easiest thing you've ever done. And that's what I've spent my career doing once I figured this out. There is no struggle. There is no fuss. There is no muss. There's just shining the light and letting more people know you're here and what you have available to them, whatever products and services you're selling, and letting them know what it could do for them while caring about them as human beings. And then they trust you, you have influence, and the rest is history. Hey guys, I'm going to go over, if you happen to be on live, join us on the MLSP fan page, and I'm going to go live and we can have a little talk about this. Let's talk about influence. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Take care. Hey guys, that was the My Lead System Pro Wake Up Call. I've been their top affiliate for several years now. If I can help you at all with your marketing, info is in the description, or just reach out to me at Diane at DianeHochman.com. Got to go do a live on Facebook. See you in a little bit.